Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about the grievance theory. So before we discuss about the grievance theory of state violence and terrorism and dictatorship and military, before we are going to discuss anything, so we are going to say that in this channel I discuss these theories for the exam preparation who are preparing for the exam of IPS and different types of competitive exams. So I make these videos for the preparation of the exams, different types of competitive exams. So I must request to all of you that all of you should read the process and all of you try to understand the fact what I am going to discuss. So let's start the grievance theory of the state violence and dictatorship, military and terrorism. Grievance theory. Beside economic and greed factors, competing set of theories see political grievances as one of the most important sources of violent conflicts. According to them, armed conflicts in Nepal, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Philippines, India, Pakistan, among others, cannot be understood without reference to political grievances. Edward Azar, for instance, has argued that civil wars generally arises of communal groups' collective struggle for such basic needs for security, recognition, acceptance, fair access, political institutions, and economic participation. Other analysts have found political factors arising from the weak state capacity and denial of human needs and central to many contemporary conflicts. In conjunction with the economic motives, such theories suggested that sustainable peace requires addressing underlying grievances through the direct engagement with the state. However, rather than just grievances, the root causes of the grievance, which is often denial human rights, should be analyzed and the reason for conflicts. A second subset grievances theories focus on identity based on conflict and Celine catalyst of armed conflict since 1980, terming it is an acute ethnic security dilemma. Scholars like Ted Gore and Woodward and Marshall see ethnic religious competition as the focal point of civil war in the post-Cold War area. Drawing upon the political instability task force data, these scholars suggested that ethnic wars are likely to occur when the state actively systematically discriminates against one or more in the following. Number 1, large countries with the medium to high ethnic diversity. Number 2, when the country is a partial democracy with factionalism. Number 3, when the country neighbors are already embroiled in a civil war and ethnic conflict. Number 4, when a country experiences ethnic conflict and genocide the previous years. And number 5, when country has large youth population. Samuel P. Huntington, for instance, stressed the threat of the countries and culture, the basis of the tradition, religious faith and dogma, and identifying the geopolitical fault lines between the civilization and as a reason behind the social dissension. The West next confrontation is going to come from the Muslim world and traced Huntington. It is the sweep of Islamic nations from the Pakistan that the struggle for new world order will begin. We are facing, the said Bernard Lewis, a movement far transcending the level issues and policies and governments that pursue them. This is not less than clash of civilizations, the perhaps irrational but surely historic reaction and accidental rival against the Judeo-Christian heritage. Our secular present world expansion of the both these theories are however based on the racist ideology because of civilization do not go to war with each other but countries do. Also countries to war become specific regions that may territorial, ideological, imperial, etc. Thus both Huntington and Lewis have followed the ideas based on the ideology of the Western supremacy and phobia against Islam. However, most scholars find this ethnic security dilemma issue problematic. According to them, ethnic dissension leading to the armed conflicts occurs only when, number 1, it is juxtaposed with the high level of poverty, failed political institutions and economic dependency on natural resources, when it is the result of the elite manipulation whereby radical leaders have exploited the insecurities felt by the people, divided societies in the situation of political volatility. Yet another school of thoughts thinks that relative deprivation spark political grievances and violent mobilizations and economic inequality within the society, especially across distinct identity groups and communities, form and armed conflict. These the horizontal inequalities appear to be linked with the conflict at the moments of economic changes, sometimes extending armed confrontation. Conflict could be initiated not only the most deprived groups may initiate conflict, but also relatively more privileges who fear the loss of their position. Researchers in the Center for Inequality, Human Security and Ethnicity, University of Oxford, found that horizontal inequalities are more likely to provoke conflict when inequalities are sustained and prolonged over time. Boundaries between different identities groups are relatively impermeable. There are fairly large number of different groups. Horizontal inequalities consistent across dimension where aggregate income and slacken down the new leaders are not cooperated into the ruling system and the government is not responsive to social grievances. So friend, this is the discussion. In the next video I will discuss state violence in Southeast Asia. So if you like the video, kindly like it and share it. Thank you.